It's time to get hot and bothered.
Oh, my.
You're tuned into the Talking Heat podcast with Hot Sauce Guide and FGC.
Welcome back to Talking Heat. Slug, I think it's just your internet's gotten better that you see the numbers, because I've always seen the numbers, but it's okay.
I love it.
We're
now.
back.
I'm the captain now.
You are the captain today, and we are back from our hiatus. I think I got COVID, Turk got COVID. I don't know what happened, but we're finally back, and I'm excited. David got COVID.
Yeah.
Everyone got COVID. So, but we're back, missing a person, but better than ever.
He's got COVID,
today,
right?
What's that?
He's got COVID,
What's
right?
that? No, not currently. I don't know. He's at the doctor, but his life is in shambles right now. So we're picking him up one piece at a time.
All right, well, we'll
But
send some good vibes his way.
we will, and some good hot sauce. So with us today is David from HAB Sauce. How are you?
I am doing well. It's snowing here in Portland right now, and that means the city's going to shut down because people don't handle it well, and they don't salt. They salt some spots now, but I'm just thinking about how I'm going to get home as long as nobody crashes, and I think I'm going to take an alternate route because I know I'll make it.
So where are you currently?
I'm in downtown Portland. This is where the HAB HQ is. It's quiet right now, which is good. Yeah, man, just living this February life.
It's the worst month. It's short. February is the Tuesday of the year. Like, Tuesday is the worst day of the week, and February is the worst month. And my mother was born in February, but she barely. All right, February 1st. She just snuck in there. It's the worst. It's dreary and cold. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. Not a fan.
So wait,
So what's up,
Oregon,
y'all?
all the way up there, and people still don't know
All
how to
the way.
drive in the snow?
People do not know how to drive in the snow because it only snows very little here. And like, I'm from LA originally, but I've been here more than half my life. But I mean, moving to Portland, or actually I moved to Salem first, and it's the capital, just about an hour away. But no one knew what Oregon was in Cali. Like they knew it was above them, but there was like no idea there was anything here, which there wasn't much here. I mean, I mean there was always something, but I mean, it's changed a lot, and it's cool. It's cool. It's a crazy town, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I feel like Portland's just blown up in the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years maybe.
Yeah, I mean, shit. 20 years ago, I can cuss, right? We're on a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
20 years ago, it was a blast, and I mean, I'm sure it still is in the sense I'm not, in my 20s going out as much, but I mean, the shows I do go to, I mean, are still a great time, and there's so much food here. It's ridiculous. It keeps me fat.
Man, Fat Guy Certified, I'm sad that we missed it. I know we tried to come out and swing through over the summer, but I had a brush with my health and got laid up in an Idaho hospital for 10 days. So I missed Washington and Oregon by like fucking pube hair. It was so close.
That's some real shit now. Like, hospital. Someone's in the hospital. Someone's getting sick. Yeah. Getting old. It's all right.
And being in the hospital made me more sick than why I went to the hospital too. So it is what it is though.
Yep.
Yeah, Turk and Slug, we're going to try and make it out to the PDX show because they're fans of hot sauce and wrestling. But unfortunately, Slug ended up in Idaho, I think. Idaho? Is that where you?
Yeah, Coeur d'Alene,
to?
but it was a beautiful town. Beautiful town.
And what a show it was too. Man, that was like the best hot sauce expo I've ever seen. Ridiculous.
Okay, so if you don't mind me asking, Mark, I'm going to let Hot Sauce Guy jump in after this one, but since you bring that up, Albuquerque's right around the corner. What's the difference between Fiery Foods in Albuquerque and PDX in Portland? Was it in Portland? Or is it outskirts?
Yeah, it's in Portland. It's like right across the bridge from where I'm at right now, too. It's close. Okay. It's different, man. I mean, Portland's a party. It's outdoor. It's like a festival style. Albuquerque's cool. It's just it's like a conference. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's a trade show.
It's like trade show versus
Yeah,
festival. I like that description.
yeah. I mean, I've heard things
Yeah.
about Albuquerque in the past that were insane, but the only time I went was the year after it was canceled, and then because of COVID, and then it probably made a difference, you know. But it was packed. It was great. This Portland show though it's either super hot outside and you can't bear it, or it's just perfect, and that's what last year was. It was the crowd was ridiculous. Oh man, I didn't have a chance to even visit other people's booths. I mean, we were just slammed, and I mean, we have the Lucha Libres, and they're all wrestling right in front of our booth. It's great.
Oh, I'm getting
You didn't
FOMO.
miss
I'm so
nothing though,
mad.
really.
Yeah, you didn't miss anything. Oh, you're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah.
I think your assessment is correct with Albuquerque feeling like a trade show. I'm interested to see because I'm going back. I'll be there next week, or probably was there last week by the time people listen to this. But uh, yeah, I'm interested to see. Scott from Lucky Dog always talks about how crazy and busy it is, and it was busy last year, but I think it being back for the first time since COVID made it a little different. So I'm interested to see what I come into when I'm there this year. But
It's
I
a fun
do
show
definitely want
though.
to.
It's a real fun
Yeah,
show. I party hard when I'm at a casino, and I'm like, I gotta watch out. I gotta be careful. I mean, speaking of health stuff, you know, I'm not trying to fuck around. And you put me in a situation like imagine a hot sauce show in Vegas. You know, like man,
I'd be there. I'd make
I'd
it
be there.
happen. Yeah.
I'd show up late the next day, maybe
Spend
if
all
at
the
all.
earnings, whatever
Yeah,
profit you made that day, gone. It's a
it'd be
wash.
the
Yeah.
Hangover hot sauce edition. Yeah.
yeah. All right. So one thing I always like to kind of start off with is kind of learning a little bit more about you. They hear this on repeat, but I'm assuming at 10 years old you didn't think you were going to grow up to make hot sauce. So tell us a
I
little bit
did
about you.
actually. Yeah,
Oh,
I knew at 10 years old I was like, fuck it. I gotta put this hard work behind me and just be a hot sauce maker.
at 10 years old, he's already had 3 years in the union, and he said enough is
No.
enough.
I was more worried about playing video games and then girls for too long that I mean, I had no idea what I wanted to do. Um, I think in my teenage years I started writing graffiti, and that's when I really got heavily involved with art. Um, I got in lots of trouble, but it steered me more towards my music side because I started DJing too at a young age, like 15, and it started with like dances and just home scratching, and then turned into making music, and so I started creating, and just we were putting out albums in like a hip hop group, and then at that time I was in Salem, Oregon, and we would drive up 45 minutes to Portland to do shows, and we had some shows in Salem, but a lot up here, and that's when I started to find my love for Portland and how coming from LA and moving to Salem was just a change, you know. Just so to be back in the city life was great. Um, and back then, I mean, Portland's still grimy, but I mean, it was a whole other type of grime, and it was fun. We loved it. I say we because I mean I just think about me and my crew of artists that I work with. Um, but yeah, it wasn't until like 7 years ago that I decided I wanted to make hot sauce, and I have zero background in the culinary industry. I mean, I only kitchen work I ever done like was some maintenance in a kitchen. Um, it just kind of happened, you know. Like I love cooking, I love making shit. I mean, I just throw things together, and it happened to be one of those summers that I was growing peppers, but this time I was like, oh, I'm gonna bottle some shit up, and it all. We were talking earlier before the call started, like we were talking about um, traditional style sauces, and that's kind of where it all started. If you don't count like being drunk with your homies making everything sauce, you know what I mean? Um, I was making, you know, I was getting tomatillos and habaneros, And I was just making salsa really, but then trying to cook it off to like turn it into hot sauce so I can bottle it. And I didn't know anything about bottling. Uh, so I was just kind of thrown into it, and it was definitely just a hobby. I wasn't planning on making a company. But then shit changes, you know. Me and my wife got pregnant. Well, she wasn't my wife then, but I got her pregnant, and it was like go back and work at my corporate job, um, or just completely give it one last shot and try something else. Because in the past, I've worked for myself. I opened a record store. I've had an art business where we were doing large scale murals, and it was tough. So I knew being an entrepreneur in that world wasn't easy at all. But I said, fuck it, I'm going to try it one more time and see what happens. And here I am. What, 7 years later? It's our 5th year in business. 6th year.
Well, you got something right. You hit something on the head there. Because
Yeah, you got to
like
know when
everything.
to fuck up. You got to know to take chances and say fuck it. You know you're going to make a mistake. Just do it.
Yeah. You like everything it seems that you put out. I don't know what your process is as far as maybe you can give us a little insight into that, but everything you seem to put out, it's as we were talking earlier, it's creative, it's non-traditional, but it's delicious. So,
Well, I appreciate it.
yeah.
I think I when I started at this, I was just throwing it together and going, that works. And it was like the first time it'd pick up on a recipe, and I'd be like, that's the one right there. And then after some time went by, so I had to create some new flavors, and I was like, okay, this one's gonna take a little longer to figure out. And I mean, the cockiness I think kind of went down a little bit, but it's not even a cockiness. It's just like you just go with your gut, you know. And I think that's so important as a maker, a creator, is just fucking put it out, see what happens. And don't second guess yourself. And I try my best not to, even though we all do it. But man, I treat making hot sauce like I would making a beat or scratching, making creating music, art. It's just doing something, and then you do it enough times, you get better and greater at it. So
Yeah, I mean, I'd say anyone that's in music or food or any art that you say cockiness, which I think there has to be some, but it's probably confidence too. You have to believe in yourself and you have to believe in what you're doing, in order to succeed.
yeah, I've seen some, really great creative makers just fall flat on their face because they're not loud enough. They're not standing up at their booth, like just because you got something good doesn't mean it's going to sell. And I mean, and that brings me to something else too. It's not always about selling. So it's just about putting it out to the world and then seeing what other people think about it. I mean, we all need to make some money at the end of the day, but like, the more the older I get, I'm just like, fuck it, I will make it work. And you have some really good months and some good years, and sometimes things slow down. But I mean, I think just be creative and don't worry about the money so much in this industry, and then you're gonna make it. But if you're just worrying about dollars and cents, man, I mean, you're in it for the wrong reason.
Oh, well spoken. So well said. Okay, so you said you just got to do. Do you find that you do until you get your inspiration, or does something inspire you and then you start doing? Like you said, you do sauce like a song, or like you're mixing a song. Like, or do you just go in there and then hope the inspiration hits?
It depends. I mean, I think you're just like motivated and inspired when you first start, and you're just doing all sorts of things. And then later on into it, when the pressure's on you to create something new, you're going to go through the motions. You maybe, it's like some days you wake up and you're just like, fuck this. And then other days you wake up and you're ready to tackle everything,
Yeah.
like I'm I'm gonna lose 5 pounds today. You know, like
Today alone, yeah,
yeah,
exactly. You're
that's
gonna
it.
change your whole life. I get it.
So so like I'll go into the shop and then to the R&D kitchen and just like I'll just start putting like ingredients together, and I get ideas all the time. Just I'm thinking about what to make. Anything all the time. I mean, it's like every day you're thinking about what you're gonna make for dinner. So it's just like I think about different sauces I would make anyways. So I just write those little ideas down in my notebook, and I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna tackle it today. And then you go into the R&D kitchen, and you end up doing all this other shit, and you never do it that day. And then maybe the next day you get it done. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's all over the place. I mean, I run I run this company with just like three of us, and like I do majority of everything when it's day to day stuff. So I mean, you don't always have the time to just create and be in the kitchen when you know you have to send out a ton of orders or something. So I've been trying to just take every day slowly and figure out what the fuck I'm gonna do.
Appreciate you sharing that mental process with us.
Oh man, probably overshared on that one.
Never, not in this community. You cannot overshare in the hot sauce community. I'm convinced of that. The characters and larger than life personalities I've met and the stories I've heard, don't ever think you're oversharing. I want to hear it all.
Yeah, right.
That's what we're doing here.
Yeah.
I love hearing, like I said, I love hearing where everyone's come from because we're such a diverse community, with so many people coming from all walks of life and all sorts of backgrounds that it's just really interesting to hear everyone's different story and how they got to where they are and where everyone's moving to also. So I love it.
Yeah, it's cool to see people do things and like we all just meet at these events and then it's like, oh, okay, I know that cat from so and so, and next thing you know, you're like you're buddies with Aardvark and you're buddies with all those major brands. You're like, oh, that's just crazy. Things that used to just be like, oh, that's on the shelf at the store. Now you're part of it.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mhm.
So one of my favorite things about your sauce, other than the unique flavors, is, as we talked about a couple weeks ago, is your label art.
Mhm.
And you mentioned someone that did the label. I think we were talking about. Where do you have you done any of your own artwork, and who does your artwork? And why don't you tell us a little bit about your labels and why that's so important to you?
Yeah, so it all started off with like a black background or a gray background. I don't know what. I was so involved with the process of making the hot sauce in the company that I wasn't even thinking about art and labels, like the whole like logo stuff. I went real simple because it's kind of like my go-to design for a logo. If I have to make somebody something, I was just like, yeah, it's fat, people can see it, bam. Um, and then a few months into it, I was like, all right, I'm making this pineapple habanero sauce, and I want to start doing something different because by the time you have time to process, and I had my brother do it. He's about 5 years older than me. His name's Angel, or it's Cujo Rock, on Instagram. But I was having him design something for me, and I mean he's a dope artist, and he's the one who's done our barong for our logo, that like dragon looking character. It's a
Mm-hmm.
barong. Um, so I got him to do that pineapple, and then I was like, it looks so cool that I was like, oh man, everything we do going forward, it's got to be like art. And then I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna get different friends of mine involved. Um, I did one myself. I did all the initial labels that were all blank, but I did a Tribe Called Quest kind of inspired roasted serrano label, and it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
I hate looking at my own art, and like
Okay.
I just knew I couldn't keep doing it where I was like, okay, I'm gonna see this. Maybe someday I can get more like cool with what I'm doing. But I decided like might as well get other people involved. And then I took it to another level. I started working with musicians using artwork that they would share with me. Um, and I was reaching out to like some of my favorite artists, mostly graffiti artists at first. and then it kind of has evolved from there. And I mean, now I'm like always meeting different artists, and I try not to use people I don't know, but it happens sometimes. To where just a relationship builds out of nowhere, like, or we hit each other up on Instagram and just start talking about it. But lately, I've been more like going to different art shows or connecting with people in another way, just like through a friend, through something, not to where I'm just like seeking them out the same way. So it just feels like I want the relationship to be more organic and just kind of grow from something else other than an internet reach out. Um, but yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this answer, but like we decided to just kind of have fun with it and make these labels, not like, I don't want this to come off wrong, but like, a lot of hot sauce bottles have like a lot of bad art and just kind of filthy stuff
Oh yeah.
happening. But there's a place for that. There's a place for it, and it's dope.
For sure.
But I was like, shit, I'm gonna bring in this whole other world and just do it. And it really, like, I think it really, it had an impact. A lot of people noticed, and I mean, I talk to people all the time about it, and I'm so happy that I went that route, and I don't think I would be here if it wasn't for that. And like bringing in another world of what you do as a person is important to your brand, and not just your brand, but like you're just gonna be happy doing what you want for work. You're gonna be even happier if you can bring in all your different worlds and have them collide. So yeah, that's how we create our labels.
For sure. No,
Oh,
for sure.
yeah, my
And
brother.
like I said, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, like my brother is a huge part of it now. Like it's great, and it's being able to work with my brother is dope.
Yeah, and it does. It makes you stand out. There's a lot of plain labels. There's a lot of, as you said, kind of over the top, flaming butt or giant boob, obscene kind of labels. And your stuff really, I mean, if you are going down an aisle of hot sauce, yours definitely stand out, and I think that helps you get noticed. And then when you taste the sauce, it may the label might get you a customer, and I think the flavors and the great sauce that you make keep a customer. So
I
think you
definitely
got
want more
something going.
boobs, though. I want more boobs on my labels. We have some boobs, just not enough boobs. I'll let you know when we get
2024
to
goals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
boobs are cool. You don't have to edit that out either. You can leave that in.
Oh, I'll
No,
leave it in.
we're not editing anything out.
I'm all for it. Okay, let it be known, Slug is definitely the tea man. All right, I don't know where Turk falls, but Slug's all about more tea on the bottles. Put them all on the label.
Yeah, I'll put my teas on there. Shit.
Yeah, listen, man. People on OnlyFans, they make a lot of money. Okay, so I'll show it. I'll do it. Well, whatever you want.
Oh man, I want an OnlyFans so bad for the hot sauce.
That's what. Yeah, you can capitalize, man. Listen, there's
Oh,
a
yeah.
kink
I
for
mean,
everybody.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be dirty. You could just be in there eating hot sauce and people subscribe.
All these ideas that we've had, like putting our hot sauce on like Tinder, and just like you go to meet the hot sauce,
That's
and then
so good.
it's just a bottle at the bar waiting for you.
That's a great idea. You need to capitalize on that. You need to get on
Someday.
that.
I feel like it's dangerous even for me to open the Tinder app. I'm a married man. I feel guilty already.
I
I'll
got
get
that.
one of my friends to do it.
Yeah. I mean, next time you're trying to do a giveaway or you have a promotion, that's what you should do, man. You should definitely get like 100 free bottles and the first 100 likes on you without them knowing it, and they set up a date with you. You have your single friend do the chatting with them. In case just so you get to stay guilt free. You don't want to be messaging
I would probably
anybody.
do it. I would.
Yeah. It's for the company, honey. It's for the
Right.
It's for our family.
It's for the good of the good of business.
So in this instance, is it send me a nude? Is it a bottle without a label then?
I think
there you
so.
go.
Yeah.
Yo, baby, let me get some nudes. And it's just a naked bottle. You got to guess what's inside. You got to taste it. Ooh.
You could easily draw a dick on a bottle.
Real easy. That's a real easy phallic shape. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Man.
Marquito, I am smelling some delicious stuff coming from in front of me.
All right, you want to try it?
I kind of do. I'm looking
All
at
right.
it. It looks good. It smells great.
All right.
I'm gonna
So
go with the
before
spoon,
we
just like you guys now.
try this, and for those playing along at home, we are trying the Minnesota Maple. Why don't you? And this is one of your newer sauces. What was it? This
Yeah,
past fall?
something like that.
Can you tell us a
I'm
little
not
bit
good with
about?
dates and times and numbers and faces and names, but I put this out. This is our fourth collaboration with Atmosphere, and this one was different than any other sauce I had ever made because Slug from Atmosphere, he suggested the maple syrup, and it turned out his kid is the one who told him to do it. So like I was like, shit, I haven't done it. I'm gonna try some maple syrup, and it just happened to be at that time. I was using a lot of, and I just still do. I eat leeks a lot. I like to cook leeks, and
Okay.
I was just cooking them all the time, and that recipe kind of came together easy because I was just using things that I had already to test it out, and I mean, some smoked cherrywood salt from Jacobson Salt Company, which is a really good salt company here in Portland. And it just first that was a first try sauce. It was like I loved it right away. And I had this whole idea of chicken and waffles would be great. So we did some chicken waffle stuff with it, but it wasn't for like long that I like put it on some pizza, and I was like, oh, this is a pizza sauce. Like, and I mean, sauces and pizza, but there's something about this. This is like ketchup and fries. Like the
Whoa, that's a
the way it
statement.
stands out. Yeah, the way it
That's a
stands out on my
statement to
pizza.
say.
Yeah,
Okay.
but the way it stands out on your pizza just really changes it, and I mean, I love it. Um, it's definitely not for everybody because it got a sweetness to it. And I know I started out not doing much sweet sauce, and now it feels like I'm doing a lot more sweet sauces. And I never thought that would happen, but here I am. But I'm having too much fun with it. Um, I'm satisfying my sweet tooth, I think. But you know, this is the way it is with these sauces. Like some people are into it, some people are not. I think I've learned to just be like, I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. Like
I like it.
I
That's all
like
that
it
matters.
exactly. That's all that really matters.
There you
And I
go.
don't make sauces for people. Only sauce I've made for other people was the tamari, the spicy sweet soy sauce, the gluten-free version. And that was because I wanted those folks to be able to, try it out. Um, and so that's been good for us. But I mean, I don't know. Other people ask me not, do certain sauces too, and I'm just like, I
I'm
don't
not
really.
feeling it, man. So
Yeah,
no.
yeah. And then like we were talking earlier, like we have all those sauces that everyone does, like a pineapple habanero or a mango. And so now it's like, how do I do one of those but differently? Um,
Mhm.
like my pineapple sauce, I'm never going to change because it's just I love it the way it is. But to me, it's a traditional style sauce because it's so simple, And sometimes the simple sauces are the way to go. And I mean, we have like what 18 sauces now, and like I think there's more room. There's room to grow. Definitely.
I like that. Now, I'm ready to take this bite whenever you are, but I do have a question that while we're pondering the sauce, if you could answer upon to the question, you just said got a wide variety of sauces, a huge roster. How often do you find yourself saying, I can't do another pineapple because I already have my favorite pineapple? How often do you repeat a main ingredient? Or are you like, no, I can't do that? Is that a faux pas in the hot sauce world? Like I already have a Verde sauce. I can't have two Verde sauces. I can't have two mango sauces.
I think that's like definitely the case with a pineapple or a mango because now I have each one of those. The mango's a limited run
Okay.
because I use Bulgarian peppers, which I can't source
Ready,
year
Mark, while
round.
he's talking?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't source it year round, so that's just the way that's going to be, and I'm fine with that. Because when it's gone, and then maybe next year we'll do it again. but I don't see myself making another pineapple with the verde sauce. That's different because there's lots of different types of verdes, you know.
Mhm.
So you can go all sorts. The same with the red sauces. Um, like tomatillo is a major uh, ingredient that I use for a lot of different sauces, but I guess it's just the way you start pairing it, you know. Um, and shit, who's to say that I don't want to do another fucking mango next year? I will, you know, like.
Yeah.
But like
Okay. So
Our machismo reaper has. I took like the Thai, the peaches,
okay.
yeah, and then I took the pineapple. I brought that together, and then I just started putting all this other stuff in there that I was like experimenting with, and it was just totally like the kitchen sink sauce, you know. And then you try it, and you're like, man, I really like this sauce, and then that turns into a sauce.
By the way, this is delicious.
This is
Thank
really
you.
good. It's like almost like I love the pour. I pour like it poured out into my little ramekin really easy. It almost had like the consistency at some of it almost like an applesauce. Like it was nice and thick, but it poured well.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
I'm
Like
not
you
gonna
know those
lie.
pours. Some you know
Yeah.
you do your best to make sure every bottle comes out as consistent as the one before it, but it doesn't always happen. Sometimes things get a little thinner. Sometimes things get a little thicker. And I mean, it's just good to hear you guys got those bottles. They weren't too thin. It's good.
We got to
Um,
go. Okay.
is that your no? They're it's always like at the end of the batch when you're filling, things get thick, and then sometimes at the beginning they're like thin, just the way shit works. But like, I've done my best to like set those aside or add them back to the batch while we're doing it. Um,
Okay.
but that is that the first time you guys tried that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which doesn't often happen. A lot of times we'll have a guest that I have had all or most of their sauces, or they'll tell me to pick a sauce, so I'll do one of my favorites. Um, but so a lot of times it'll be I've tried the sauce and Turk and Slug have not. This is one of the few times that I have not had the sauce, and I purposely held off. I wanted to do the review in the fall and winter when it was like maple season, but I knew we had you lined up to be on the podcast, and so I wanted it to be a unique first time experience for me as well.
I, it's so nice and sweet, but I don't even know. Like I was really like putting on my sommelier, going. I don't know if I taste the maple per se. It's just
Well, that's
sweet.
the sweet you're getting. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I was expecting like it to have like that maple French toast waffly, but it's not. It's just sweet. You just get the pure sweetness of it. That is really good. And that first big spoonful I took, it had a little kick. It had a little tingle on the tongue. That was
It has a little
nice.
kick. You know, most of the stuff
I
we make's not that hot. So,
Yeah.
I
But
will
you
I
know,
love good.
people tell me all the time my shit's too hot, and I'm like, God damn, what's wrong with you? You know, like
the,
for real.
send them the egg curry next time.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah,
No, I was worried when you said it was on the sweet side that it would be a little too sweet for me because I don't love super sweet stuff, but it's not.
yeah.
I like the sweet profile. You get a blast of the red bell peppers right
Yeah,
away. I
I
tasted
was
that
thinking that.
real quick.
Mhm.
And yeah, you get just a little bit of I think the vinegar helps offset the sweetness a little bit, which is nice. And yeah, you talked about leeks. You can taste a little bit of that as well.
I'm glad I see the orange and the lime juice. I was looking up the ingredients because I was like, it kind of says citrusy. So where's the citrus coming from? So I was tasting the orange juice, like
Yeah,
that
I have
orange.
no idea how to describe the leek taste. You know what I mean? I mean, it's I don't taste it, but like it's there. It's making something happen with that once everything
Makes
settles
it
and
crisp.
crisp. Mm, okay.
Like if it wasn't there, you would know it wasn't there. You just don't know how to describe what it tastes like.
I'm the worst at describing the sauces. Sometimes I get into this romantic moment with it, and I can write all sorts of good stuff about it. God damn it, snowed a bunch in the last hour here. Um, but yeah, like when I write a description about something, it's so early on. So I'm like, I think this is what's happening. I've tried it with all these things. Like every review I make of my own stuff or description can't be about tacos and chicken, you know, and fried chicken. But those
Yeah.
are like the major things I eat when I try a sauce. Like I'll make a sauce and I go get a taco or I get some fried chicken or like something like that. Because that and pizza, you know, if I'm lucky that day and I get to have some pizza. But
There you go.
that that's something. Oh, the whole thing about sweetness. I think it gets a bad name because, and it happens to I think a lot of us is we'll have sauces that are sweet and they're just not done well, and like they are too sweet or something's weird, and it gave to me. That's probably why I steered away from it for so long, is because I had so many sauces that I didn't like that were sweet.
Mhm.
And now that I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, you just got to be more careful with the sugars, or whatever sugar you're using in it, or that the fruit that's becoming the sugar. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of natural ingredients, but I've noticed in the last year or two that I'm starting to explore other options and just like I'm not gonna let anything limit what I'm making. And I'm not talking about like anything to make it completely thick or like you know I'm not putting anything to make it extra hot. And who knows if I would ever do that? I don't know if I'd want to just get some straight capsaicin and like mess around with that, but maybe we'll come out with a little vial of something crazy hot. But I don't know. I thought I'd like to make things that I'm gonna use.
Well,
So
that's the
where are
secret
we
to
using this?
repeat buyers. You
Yeah.
got to use it to get more.
Mm.
Yeah, if it's like the bomb and it's just going to sit in your fridge and you're going to prank your friends once and then never again, you're never selling that garbage. But this is flavorful. You can see yourself. I need this in my fridge at all times because I can't eat burgers without it. I can't eat my favorite chicken dish without this.
Yeah, it always trips me out when like someone tells me their favorite one is like the machismo. I'm like, damn, you got a high heat tolerance, and the thing is, it's a really good sauce. It's just too hot for me, so I stay. I have a bottle in my fridge it's been in there for 6 months. It's taken me to have that, to eat it. It's such a good sauce though, but yeah, I gotta just like chill out.
It'll wreck you if you eat it every day.
Yeah, it will wreck you.
Yeah.
I've learned to be careful, like especially with raw peppers. Like I could handle a Thai chili, I could handle a habanero, but anything over that, I'm kind of done. I'll try it a little piece, but like there's no reason to fuck up my stomach.
Hey, you're grown. Tell people that, like, listen, I'm grown. I don't have to prove nothing to nobody. I'm not eating this
Oh,
pepper just because. Get out of here, Ed Curry.
I love watching people eat them all.
That
All
was
day. Favorite thing.
that
That's why you started.
mistake won't happen again this year in Albuquerque.
Not talking to that son of a bitch. You might wave to him. Don't eat anything he hands you. Don't even shake his hand. He probably has some weird like goop now that when he shakes your hand, your eyes and butthole bleed. Like my man
Maybe
loves it. Just refining the spice game. I don't trust him.
there's a heat level and flavor for everyone, right?
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do our new segment.
Mhm.
I think we originally named it Hot Takes. I I don't know if someone else uses that segment name, so we're just gonna call it 10 quick questions.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna
Give me a
answer
second.
you. What's that?
Is he give 1 second?
Okay, 10 quick takes.
He's back. He's back.
Gonna ask you 10 questions. Just first thing that pops in your head, one word answers. Just to get to know you a little bit better. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Best burger chain.
Oh shit, Carl's Jr.
Yeah! Yeah! Oh, I'm sorry, I blew out the sound. I fucking love Carl. And back, okay, over here on the East Coast, it's Hardee's. Yeah, I love Carl's Jr.'s and Hardee's. Best burger chain. Best burger chain.
Going out or staying home.
Going out.
Concert or movie.
Concert.
Beach vacation or city vacation.
Beach vacation.
Favorite
Well,
season.
yeah. Shit. Summer.
Favorite sport.
Basketball.
Sauce you use most that isn't yours.
What do I use? What? It's funny because I don't remember the name of it because it's like just straight up from the Asian market, and it's like the thick sweet like egg roll sauce, stuff like that. And then it used to
chili
be
sauce?
sambal, yeah, sambal, olek, like the little clear with the green top. It's like a paste.
With the
you
chicken
know
on
what I
it?
mean? Yeah, there's
That's
chicken on it.
sriracha,
Keep
isn't
the
it?
chicken.
Yeah.
No, that's,
Yeah,
that's sriracha.
No?
No. That's sriracha.
Okay.
I'm talking about like sambal. You know what sambal is?
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like if I saw it, I'd recognize it.
Yeah, it's in a jar, plastic jar, green top. Sometimes the top's red, I think. Man, that stuff is delicious. I haven't been eating it as much lately, though. I've been making lots of fresh sauces lately.
Right.
There you go.
It's funny how
Favorite
things
beer?
change.
Oh.
It's a one-word answer, right? Favorite beer? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
It would be a saison.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite meal? This can be more than one word.
Pho.
Okay. Favorite place you've been on vacation?
It's not vacation. There were times that we got to vacate. Cape Town, South Africa.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's 10, right?
That's 10.
Nice.
I got 1/11th though. If you could have anybody try your sauce in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
Salma Hayek.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
David.
Yeah. She probably has though.
Yeah. There you go. That's the way you think. That's the way you think. She probably
She's
already
eating
likes
it
but she's
right
already had
now.
Yeah. And she listens. She's gonna listen to this and be like, David's right. I love the mango. She's gonna have a favorite sauce. That's a good answer. That's a solid answer.
How many people say, "Oh, Jesus Christ"?
Yeah, we haven't asked that yet, but I just thought of it this morning. I'm like, I'm gonna ask David. I really would like to know, like, if you could have somebody try your sauce, not even give them a bottle, because you can give anybody a bottle, but like, if you have somebody try your sauce, who would it be? I like that answer so much.
That'd be a fun day.
So I know we've all got to get going here, but before we do, I'm always interested. Where do you see you? Where are you going next? Where do you go from here? What are the future plans?
I'm gonna keep creating crazy sauces that I'm having fun with. I don't see myself trying to get into the huge chains anymore. As much, I mean, some maybe, but I see those kind of things happening where people approach me and I'm not going to be the one seeking it so much. I see myself doing lots of different experiences with hot sauce and sauce in general. And I could see not just hot sauce and sauces in my future as well. Like, we're going to take this to a whole different place. And the sauces will be available and will be a part of it. But like, I mean, shit, I'm opening a bar in a few months, and I got like behind me the construction is going to be a whole like hot sauce bar and turntables in here, and we're going to do like these hot sauce experiences. So yeah, we're going to have fun.
Sounds amazing. I'm gonna have to come to the West Coast now. Now I have another reason to go back to the West Coast.
But we should have lots of reasons to come to the West Coast.
I mean, I can't fly very well. It's a long drive, man.
I get it.
It's a long drive.
Yeah.
First one put me in a hospital for 10 days. All right, so I'm gonna get real immunized. I'm gonna have to get real strong before I make the next journey.
We'll put you in a bubble.
Yeah, exactly. That'll work.
But
Bubble slug.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find your sauce if they want to try it out, if they haven't seen a review, where I urge everyone to try all of your sauces, but let everyone know where they can get your sauce.
You can get it on my website, habsauces.com.
Fantastic.
You can go to Instagram, you can follow us, there's a link right there. You just push the button on your phone.
Click the button smash. Well, it's been a pleasure. I really appreciate you hopping on with us and spending some time. It's been great to get to know you. We hung out last year in Albuquerque, but hear your story and hopefully share it with everyone else.
Right on. Hey, thanks for having me, guys. It was fun.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Talking Heat. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. For more information, visit talkingheat.com.